Warning! The Speedgolf Baby Audio Experience contains radical ideas about how fast you can play golf, Scott Dawley, and how good you can feel while you play. If that's not your thing, there are 1,000 golf podcasts you can listen to instead, and that's a conservative estimate. So go listen to one of those. And now, Speedgolf Baby, let's go. I'm Adam Lorton, executive producer of Speedgolf Baby, and welcome to the Speedgolf Baby Audio Experience, where we are all about speed golf, the faster, fitter variant of the beautiful game of golf. Whether you play from the blues, the whites, the golds, or the reds, please subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. Please rate and review us. It's a par 5 for Speedgolf Baby. 5 stars, please. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the Speedgolf Baby YouTube channel, because what the heck are you doing? That's the flagship media property right there. And finally, if you're Speed Golf curious, get the Speed Golf Starter Pack for free over at speedgolf.baby/start. Last time on the Speedgolf Baby Audio Experience, you heard our Missouri Speedgolf Open preview. Well, now the Missouri Speedgolf Open is over, and my back hurts. So joining me in the ice bath, it's Scott Dawley, director of Speedgolf USA, and new inductee into the Hole-in-One Club. So refresh your Instagram feed. We've got tournament storylines, and now Scott Dawley. Scott, welcome to the program.
Speed golf, baby. Let's go.
Let's
Good
go.
to see you.
And I'm going to leave that nugget hanging there for just a second, and I'm going to start with Luke Willett, two-time British Open champ, speed golf record holder on the DP World Tour. He finally has a title he can be proud of. Missouri Speedgolf Open champ, baby.
There you go.
Not to
That's
mention
right.
an unofficial 9-hole and 18-hole record on the newly lengthened Horton Smith golf course. Luke played with one club on day one, 36 minutes and 4 seconds with just a 6-iron, shot 84 for a speed golf score of 120, lowered that to a 75 in 41 minutes for a 116 on day two. He is your two-day champ in Missouri, 235 speed golf score, and Jason Hawkins, the Hawk, was very pleased to see that his two-day record has not fallen.
Yeah, Hawk's record's pretty incredible. It's going to take two amazing, fast and good rounds of golf to accomplish that. Nonetheless, he's gone out there and blazed around and do what he does best, which is play really fast golf. And say on day two, somebody as fast as Luke, if they're going to shoot in the mid to low 70s, then for the rest of us, you're looking at a score somewhere in the high to mid 60s to even be able to keep up. And so that was kind of the dilemma I was faced with and wasn't able to pull it off. Definitely had some rust to knock off. That's first event of the year. Lots of rust on my game there, but felt good to get that out and get it going. But certainly Luke, really impressive with his speed, and to go out there and play that course in 36 minutes, play the front nine in 16 minutes and 17 seconds, just blazing fast.
And not to mention tough conditions. I don't know about you, but about 4 o'clock in the morning of day one, I was awoken by a crack of thunder. We had, thunderstorms and lightning, very frightening, leading into that 2-hour delay. Huge credit to Garrett Holt at Horton Smith and to Mel, the lead maintenance person at Horton Smith. They got that course in awesome shape, considering the amount of rain they had had, not just over the prior 24 hours, but really over the prior 24 days. The amount of rain that course has absorbed successfully, incredible. I thought the greens were rolling fantastic.
Yeah, they were. We were sitting in our hotel room that night and kind of knocking on the outer wall and going, I think we're good if there's a tornado. I think we're gonna be fine if we just stay in our room or go to the hallway. So no surprise, we go out there and essentially the entire track is standing water. Other than the greens, I will say that the greens were in great shape. Yeah, we were sloshing it around on day one, lift clean in place throughout the whole entire golf course, which of course is actually going to bring times down as well. Running on soft turf like that, especially when it's wet, things are going to go just a little bit slower than they normally would on Horton Smith when we play in the fall, and it's kind of cut down nice and fast, a little bit hard. You can really get the legs turning in those conditions.
Yeah, and I think that makes Luke's performance on day one all that more impressive because, Rob Hogan had a fantastic round in day two of the 2022 U.S. Open, but that course was extremely firm in October. Right. You compare that to some very mushy ground in some spots. Huge credit to Luke. Extremely high pain tolerance on that dude.
Yeah, absolutely. He can visit the pain cave and somehow stay in there almost from start to finish. So, yeah, really impressive.
All right, but it's time to move on to the story that I know is nearest and dearest to your heart. Why don't you walk us through finishing hole 7 and then lead us into your experience on the 8th hole, day 1?
Yeah, I started out the round with a birdie, so I thought, okay, here we go. I followed that up with a few bogeys, and by the time I got to 7, hit my drive left in the trees, punched out, did not get up and down, so I'm making a bogey there, and 4 bogeys in going into the 8th hole. Wasn't so happy. Yeah, I stepped up on the tee box on 8, par 3, 169 yards, grabbed a 6-iron, because we had been playing there the last couple of days. Actually, Luke and I had been playing practice rounds there, and we realized if you go long on 8, it's actually an easy chip back up the hill. The problem is being short on that green because you got a bunker left, a bunker right, and then everything kind of breaks towards the back of the green. So instead of 8-iron, I opted for like a punch 6. I got this strange feeling. It's hard to explain it in words, Adam, but I put my hands over my eyes to kind of find where I was going to aim, and I just locked in on the flagstick, which is not something I normally do. Because of the necessity of the moment, not knowing exactly where the pin was and then locating it, I think that was just in my mind as I took that swing. Hit a great, nice little punch shot with a 6-iron, and as soon as I hit it, it noticed that it was heading right for the flagstick. I didn't see where it came down because it's kind of hard to see the sun right in your face, but I did notice that it landed directly in front of the flagstick. I just didn't know how far back. So my assumption is it landed a few yards short of the green, and then the first bounce that it took was directly forward. It didn't go left, didn't go right at all. It just was going right for the flagstick.
And not a given on that golf course, because there are those dips in front of almost every green, and those can sometimes send the ball in an unexpected direction.
Yeah, I had chips later on in that round that I felt like I hit really solid, and as soon as they hit the green, they both bounced like severely left. And so, yeah, to get that kick forward, I thought, wait a minute here, this could be good. So running up to the hole, I was thinking, man, I wonder if this is possible, because I've never had a hole-in-one. I've been playing golf for 35 years, and I haven't had a hole-in-one, so I'm just sick of all the stories of everybody else telling me about their holes-in-ones, and here I am. I haven't really even come close. So I ran up to the green, and my focus is on past the green. I just want to find the golf ball long and get prepared to hit that shot. And as I run up onto the green, it's not there. I run right past the flagstick and kind of look down, and there is the ball at the bottom of the cup. And at that point, the speed golf tournament didn't matter. I was going to celebrate and just kind of release 35 years of anticipation and excitement, all in that moment. Definitely a highlight of my golfing life, for sure.
Awesome. Congratulations. When listeners to this podcast listen to the broadcast audio experience, you're going to hear Scott's unfiltered reaction to that hole-in-one. It was pretty special, and we'll be putting up a short on the Speedgolf Baby YouTube and Instagram, so that'll all be coming in the next few days. Coincidentally, within probably 2 minutes of that happening to you, I was teeing off on the par 3 6th, and my scorekeeper and I were both holding our breath because I absolutely piped this 6-iron, and it rolled right up to the flag and then stopped 2 feet short. I had to kick in birdie on 6, but yeah, there was something in the air right at that moment.
It's amazing. 2 feet short, man. Wow, wouldn't have that been incredible to have a couple of those? I guess this time I'm the one that got lucky because, luck is involved. Luck fell on my side this time, but hopefully this opens the floodgates. I believe this is the first time. I know it is on the U.S. tour that we've had a hole-in-one in competition. So that's another little piece of history I'm fortunate to have been able to grab.
Super cool. Well, let's celebrate the rest of the Open Division leaderboard. First place, Luke Willett. Second place, Scott Dawley. Third place, Nick Gooden, about 8 shots behind you. And then we had Gachiek Gao from Phoenix in the tournament. He's currently playing in the Arizona Mid-Am, so best of luck to you, Gachiek. Lauren Cupp just a few seconds behind him. And then Adam Lorton. Somebody's got to finish in 6th place. I had such a great time at that tournament.
Yeah. Absolutely, and there were people that were not able to be there. One of the things is that it's a holiday weekend, so locally a lot of people head off to the lake and whatnot, so unfortunately there were some people not there, and then some of the usual travelers that are coming in couldn't make it as well. Luther Olson has an injury, so Luther, we're out here hoping the best for you. Jason Hawkins was busy, couldn't make it, so it's too bad he wasn't there. Look forward to seeing them at the U.S. Open coming up next month.
But enough about the golfers who weren't there. I want to talk about a golfer who was there, and that was Josh Mayer, golf YouTuber making his speed golf debut. Certainly the best dressed on day one with his 100-meter dash tracksuit that he was wearing. So much fun to watch a YouTube professional. The very first thing I noticed was that right after he finishes his round, his wife, who was on the camera, pulls him aside and she says, Josh, we've got to get the thumbnail. They spent, I would say, 10 minutes taking still photographs of Josh trying every different version of a pained expression, an exhausted expression, hanging his head, just trying to find the perfect image of what it feels like right after finishing your very first speed golf tournament. So I learned so much from Josh, and boy, what a great guy. Filmed content with all of us. He was so approachable, gave me a bunch of great advice about YouTube thumbnails, and I think we might see him again.
I think we might see him again, and even if we don't, I'm just so thankful that he's come into our world. I know he really enjoyed meeting everybody, but it's just a great spotlight for our sport, to somebody to come out that essentially isn't doing the kind of training we're doing, has a little bit of a running background, but he went out there and he managed to move his way around the course without ever walking. He kind of ran or shuffled the entire way around, which was his goal. His goal was to actually shoot 80 in 60 minutes or to shoot 140 or better. I think he came in right around 142. He shot 87 in 55 minutes. So impressive for him to be able to do that, and hopefully it gives other people the desire and confidence and courage to come out and try playing speed golf.
That's right. Well, and I hope that we showed him the speed golfer way, which is that no matter how you feel about your golf game, no speed golfer is going to be putting you down or trying to make you feel embarrassed for how you play in your very first event. I remember shooting 94 in an hour and 18 minutes in Kentucky, and feeling absolute joy at the experience, and also just a little touch of embarrassment, especially when I plunked it in the water on 18 in front of everybody. But having the whole community, congratulate me at the end of my round, I'm very confident that's what we showed to Josh, and I hope that comes through when he publishes his video.
Yeah, Josh, thanks for coming out, man. We do hope to see you again soon.
Absolutely. I'm going to give a couple more shout-outs. 36-hole Masters, your champion John Darrow from Springfield. John Darrow paid us the nicest compliment, Scott. I don't know if this made its way to you, but he heard our Missouri Speedgolf Open preview, and he was like, two out-of-towners previewing Horton Smith. Could they possibly get this right? He said he agreed with us on almost every point we made, so kudos to us for knowing that golf course.
Yeah, I heard that also from other people that said, hey, y'all's preview of some of the golf holes, he's like, those were the right holes to cover. And isn't it interesting how similar the Amen Corner at Horton Smith is to the actual Amen Corner at Augusta? Very, very similar in essence.
A little bit shorter. I think it's 526 at Augusta. But
yeah.
Other than that.
In Augusta, probably dog legs a little harder, but you get the point when you go out there and you play it and you see those three holes, and they're not easy. That's the part of the course where a lot of people's rounds go sideways.
That's right. Shoutouts would not be complete without mentioning what's going on in the senior division. Andy Dalton from Springfield shooting 76-75. That guy is a golf machine for a 272 total on Speed Golf Score. Extraordinary. And my friend Chris Hundhausen ended up taking third after a penalty, but first time breaking 90 in competition. That's awesome. And of course, Gary Sobzak from Avon, Indiana, coming in second place in the senior division. You love to see it. The guy's going to be in Japan no matter what, but it looks to me like he's going to qualify automatically.
Oh, yeah. He just signed up for the U.S. Open, so he's going to be aiming for as many qualifying points as possible.
Absolutely. Now, I intended to have a Worlds qualifying update, official qualifying points for you. Sorry to say I don't have that as of this podcast, but that'll be published on Speedgolf Baby. It will not be a secret to anybody, and I know Scott will push that out to the entire Speedgolf USA email list so that nobody's in the dark about Worlds qualifying. We should mention a score correction for Chris Hundhausen. Let's keep this quick, Scott, but there has been some behind-the-scenes controversy about what we call Speedgolf brain, which is The outcome of Speed Golf Brain is signing incorrect scorecards. Processing the videos for a couple of years now, we have seen scorecards come in that don't match what we see on video, and we do not attribute that to malice. We sure as heck do not attribute it to cheating. What we attribute it to is speed golf is extremely hard and extremely fast-paced, and errors happen in speed golf scoring. So, Scott, you are currently circulating a new policy, which is effectively, this is a multi-round event. You need to correct your score before the next round starts, and if it's a scoring error in the final round, you need to submit that correction in the 24 hours after the event. Correct?
Yeah. I don't think there's a perfect solution, but it's happened enough times now. It happened at the World Championships. It's happened almost at every single golf tournament, and it happened again this weekend. So like you said, we have this amazing golf community. So those two things don't seem to work together. It's hard to apply malice or the intent to cheat to these wonderful people, and it's obviously not happening. So people have got Speed Golf Brain, and as soon as they finish their round and they're staring at their scorecard, man, things get jumbled, you forget, and sometimes you just open your eyes at 2 a.m. after your round and you go, wait a minute, actually it was a 7, not a 6, So we want to make a policy around that so that people have that amount of time. Like you said, if it's a multi-round event and it's the non-final round, whether it's 1 round, 2 round, or 3 rounds, you need to immediately notify the tournament host or the official scorer and let them know so that you can make that update. Of course, after that, then the regular rules are going to apply in terms of signing an incorrect scorecard. So we need to provide a larger window. People can make amendments to their score without penalty. So we are going to do that. We'll circulate it through to the tournament hosts, and they will be getting it out to all participants. Of course, when you finish your round, you still need to go over it with your scorekeeper, hole by hole, to ensure that it's correct. But even after that, the scorekeeper leaves, there's still some times when we realize we didn't score correctly. So we got to make sure we get that job done, and the scorekeeper signs the scorecard, and that to the best of y'all's knowledge at that moment, that was the score. That's what's important. And then if there happens to be mistakes after that, then we've got this window of time where you can make that without worrying that, my gosh, did I make a mistake, and I'm going to get disqualified.
One of the tournament highlights for me was what happened as I was going home, which is I spent 3 hours in the airport with British Open champion Luke Willett, and then we found out, because of the speed golf gods, that we were also seated together on our flight to Chicago. So I spent 5 hours just getting my ear absolutely talked off by Luke Willett about how to grow the game. And the reason that I'm bringing this up on this pod is that I think most people listening to this, they want to do their part to grow the game as well and make sure that, the joy that we find in speed golf, that other people have access to that joy as well. And for Luke, the principles that I got from him, again, after hours and hours of conversation, was number one, about cementing existing relationships. So if there's a person, hey, you normally play in our event, but you're not coming this year, is everything okay? Is there anything we could do to help you get to this event? And by the way, while I'm talking to you, is there anybody else you think we should invite? Anybody else I could reach out to? That is Luke's entire playbook for maintaining speed golf relationships, and that's something I'm very much taking to heart. But yeah, I just loved my time with Luke, and so yeah, Luke, special thanks to you, my friend.
Yeah, Luke's 110% passionate about our community, about growing the sport. He really believes in it, and, here's the deal. Everybody that's coming to these tournaments feels the same way. And I love that our community doesn't assume the worst when things happen. They assume the best, and they impute good faith instead of bad faith, because that's what's going on here, And as this sport grows, there are going to be hiccups, there are going to be waves, there are going to be issues with timings of certain things that come out. I just love the fact that people want to know. They have a desire to communicate and to be in the loop and understand how things are growing along the way. We have to remember, we're one big community, we're one big sporting family, and everyone is playing their part to move things forward. And so, I'm so passionate about that part of it as well. And it was great to find out that, you guys were on the same flight, but then you go sit down in your seats and there you are right next to each other, To me, that is, we talked about, that's like magic, it's pretty amazing. So that's really cool.
Absolutely. All right, one last thought before U.S. Open. Another highlight I have is it's those small moments that stick with you, right? And that was, Speedgolf Baby. We published a speed golf meme that was Tom and Jerry. Jerry the mouse is deciding between sleep and speed golf, and he ends up choosing speed golf, of course. The highlight was when I showed this to Chris Hunthausen, and he was cackling like a little kid the entire time watching this.
Yeah, man. Anytime the professor of speed golf is at a tournament, it's just, he elevates the whole experience.
This is your call to action to sign up for the gosh darn U.S. Speedgolf Open, being held in Rome, New York, Yanendas's Golf Club, and, of course, the iconic Rome Country Club. If you want to, you can play 54 holes. You can play 3 rounds of golf in 26 hours. Or if you want to bite off something a little bit more manageable, there are divisions open to you. One of the biggest prize pools in speed golf history, shaping up in the $10,000 range of prize pools, and there are prizes for every division. So I guess I just have to ask, you're missing the U.S. Speedgolf Open in New York? By the way, a beautiful time of year to be in New York. What the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's right. We're making some more history summer by having the first national championship. That'll be 54 holes. Yes, it is happening in approximately a 25-hour period, so it's going to be really intense, but this is how you determine who the best player in the country is, who the national champion is. You got to go through the struggle and fight all the way to the end, even when you want to give up, and that way you can lift the crown. So it's going to be a fun challenge. We do have a 54, like we talked about, 54-hole option. We also have 36-hole options, so 1 round each day. And then for newbies, we have a little 9-hole fun option. You can come out and just play 9 holes and get into it and just see what the community is like. So yeah, like Adam said, no reason to not be there. It's so much fun. If you've never done it before, and if you have, it's just great getting back in touch with the community, saying hi. Speed golf happens so fast. You're out there by yourself, and that part is amazing. But it's everything that happens in between the rounds that's also really special. The meals that you have together, and the time you go out and spend together at parks, or just walking around and talking, and all the stories that you share. These are the special moments as well.
Yep. If you're tossing a frisbee, slapping a pickleball, all options available to you in the hours that you're not actively playing speed golf. Those are all options. I also just want to call out and make this loud and clear. My scorekeeper in Missouri, Josh, he rode 18 holes alongside me, but then he played 9 of his own, and he had his wife and daughter on the cart with him. So if you have a friend or a loved one, this is a great chance to do something fun and something hard together. So if you're a little worried about playing 9, wouldn't it be fun to have a friend on the cart with you who can shout encouragement, give you a drink of water when you need one, and if you should happen to lose a golf ball, they can hook you up with another one. Don't let the fear overtake you. Find somebody to share the experience with you.
I don't know anybody that's ever come to an event that's regretted it or said it wasn't worth it. It always blows people's minds, and it goes beyond even their expectations. And we are family friendly. We always have families show up with their kids, and even the volunteers come out and they bring their family with them too. So even if you can't play and you're in the upstate New York area and you're listening to this, make plans to come on out and watch it, because it's fascinating, it's exhilarating, it's exciting, and it's something you don't want to miss.
Oh, speaking of calls to action, I just read on Instagram that the man himself, the defending U.S. Open champ, Jin Ota from Japan, is considering coming over, but hasn't made his decision yet. So go ahead and leave him a comment on his Instagram, if you don't mind, jwind_golf, and tell him that we would love to see him, man. We'd love to see him try to defend the title, because I know Wes Cup and Jason Hawkins would love to challenge that.
Yeah, and Luke Wild will be back over here again looking to challenge it as well. So Luke's already got 1 win on the U.S. Tour. I know that his eyes are set on another one.
Do you have anything else before I send us off?
No, Adam, thank you for everything. It was great to have Speedgolf Baby out there this weekend, following around the featured golfers, and just love the camera operators. They go out there with such passion. I've had the same one for the last 3 years, and this year he he gave like 110%. It was so cool to see that. I asked him afterwards, man, you've been running? And he's like, no, I just love this. He's like, I'm sitting at my desk working all the time, but this is just a great chance to get out there and, run around with you guys, and I always love doing it. So thank you, Adam, for the effort that you put in and gathering all these people together to make sure that we have a really great, fine broadcast that we can put out to people to show them what speed golf competition is like. And I got to say, I've said it before, Adam, but every single broadcast is better than the last, and that is a great trend that I'm seeing.
And the next one will be no different. And let's give him a proper shout out. That is Mark Heinz, who is an independent video professional in Springfield, Missouri. If you want to be connected to Mark Heinz for your video needs, you just let me know. Oh, and before we go, I just need to say a quick Baba Booey! unsolicited comments from the gallery, Scott Dawley. There's a comment on your every shot video. David commented, there should either be a time penalty or a stroke penalty for Scott's choice in music. But nice round.
Wow. Oh, yeah, well, I guess I can't disagree, but I also can't help it when I'm out there running and a song gets me excited and gets my heart rate up and gets the juices flowing. I can't help what it is that gets me to that place. So I just play the music that helps me and gets me inspired and gets me moving, man. And for some people, maybe that's jazz or maybe that's classical or whatever. But for me, it's the EDM, it's the dance, and I'm going to keep playing it, baby.
I know there's a Kentucky speed golfer. He plays Garth Brooks' Low Places on repeat because that gets him in the right rhythm for his swing.
Right, yeah, exactly. Some people do that. They're like, they find the exact right beat that they can go out and swing the golf club to. But yeah, music is allowed. That's in our rules. You're allowed to listen to music.
Right. Scott Dawley did now adopt the bone conduction headphones, so you will not be hearing his music, just Scott. You know what, David? You're welcome.
Absolutely. David, thanks for the question. Keep them coming, buddy.
All right, Scott. In Japan, they're announcing a speed golf triathlon. Can you swim? While you're thinking about that, I'm going to remind our listeners to follow Scott at Scott Dawley Golf on Instagram and at Speedgolf USA. Follow Speedgolf Baby wherever you find your social content. Instagram and YouTube would be our main places, Speedgolf Baby or speedgolf.baby. Get the Speed Golf Starter Pack if you're speed golf curious, and buy a Q Golf Club using our referral link and put a little wind in the sails of the pirate ship. Scott, can you swim?
Yeah, I can swim. I don't necessarily, it depends on where I'm swimming. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of swimming like in a lake or the ocean. Just to me, like, knowing that there's just nothing beneath me for hundreds of feet or thousands of feet kind of freaks me out. But I would do that part. The problem I have is getting on the bike because my knees crack when I bike. And it doesn't hurt, but it's just like comfortable, And for that reason, I've never gotten into triathlon. But I will tell you this: if I was over there in Japan, I would have already entered into that thing and figured out a way to play it. I can't wait to see that. That sounds so exciting.
Same here. Yeah, the popcorn sound of the knees is just something that happens as you reach your 40s. A lot of us listening are in the same boat. So yeah, no judgment there. All right, Speed Golf family, we got to hit the road. Thanks as always to producer Nico, who puts the finishing touches on these episodes. We hope you're feeling tired but satisfied after today's effort. You're fired up about Speed Golf 2, and that you're going to join us next time for the Missouri Speedgolf Open broadcast audio experience. Don't forget to subscribe to Speedgolf Baby on YouTube, and until next time, keep it in the short grass. Bye.